The UN recognizes that saving peatlands is extremely important in the fight to reduce climate change. Of all the peatlands in the world, 20% of them are located in Canada. What will you do to protect our peatlands?
Well, we'll protect the peatlands to the best of our ability. I can't say I'm an expert on peatlands, and I know that's a horrible thing to say here at the Bogs. As I'm not from here, I'm new to the area. I parachuted in order to run for the Green Party. But one thing that the Green Party does stand for is protecting the environment, and that's a no-brainer. We're going to protect the environment. We're going to protect the bog, and I wish I could say something more eloquent about it, but that's what I've got for this one.
As I've said, I grew up here in Delta. I grew up enjoying the bog. It's has a very special place in my heart, and I would hate to see any more damage done to it than has already been done. And I want to see it preserved. And an NDP government would ensure its preservation by restoring the protections to our environment that were gutted by the Conservatives, by making sure that the cuts to funding that were levied on Environment Canada by the Liberals were reversed, and by bringing in a credible, science-based, rigorous consultation process and environmental review process that ensures that every project that comes through Delta, every project, including the coal trains, including Terminal 2 expansion, including the radio towers, including any of these projects that would put the bog or any other of our natural spaces at risk, would be credibly reviewed, that we would have strong community consultation to ensure that stakeholders like you, your voices were heard, and ensure that we met our First Nations obligations, and that all of the damage potentially caused by a project is taken into consideration. That's something that's not happening now, and it's something that is absolutely necessary in order to preserve the natural wonders of Delta that we all love so much. Thank you.
As I said earlier, the bog is really integral to not only the life and the ecosystem of our community, but also our province in Canada. We know that the Kyoto Protocol recommended more peatland and more bog-type mires as a direct way to offset carbon. We know the bog is a carbon sink. We know less bog equals more CO2 in the air. The Liberals have put forth a very robust environmental platform that I'm extremely proud of, and we've got a very significant climate change plan that we're going to move forward with. First of all, we're going to talk to the provinces. I know, it's a novel idea. And we're going to bring them with us to Paris at the end of November for the Climate Change Summit. I think we need to really focus on what the bog and Delta does, not only for our community, but for our country, and preserve it. I really would encourage you to read our platform. It's quite robust. It does talk to the environmental assessment platform and process being restored. It talks about climate change, green jobs, clean energy. It's really good stuff. Thank you.
Well, I started out, I think, in my first remarks in mentioning the support I gave for the Ramsar designation. This is very significant because it means that our Burns Bog and the other areas covered, and it's about 20,682 hectares here in Delta, have international recognition for their ecological sensitivity and the protections that go along with that international designation. The Fraser River Delta Ramsar site is a critical migratory stopover for the Pacific Flyway for our migratory birds, such as the western sandpiper, and provides feeding and roosting sites for approximately 250,000 migratory and wintering waterfowl and 1 million shorebirds. We know this is an important place. We know that it is critical. We're very proud of it here in Delta. In fact, when the city championed buying this, purchasing it with its partners, the federal government, but this was before my my time, but it was my Conservative government, put over $40 million into that purchase. We were very much on side as partners in that, and we continue to do so. So we know the importance of peat and the wetlands, not just around the world, but most importantly right here in Delta. But I cannot let this other part stand, and I will just quickly say that as Minister of National Revenue, I know what's been going on in that department, and there is no, and has been no, political interference with the Charities Directorate look at charities. There are 86,000 charities in Canada, and less than 1% are audited each year. Less than 1%. Thanks.